Welcome back to our channel. Have you ever felt like you're running on a giant hamster wheel? You're sprinting as fast as you can, yet somehow you're stuck in the same place. Life today feels just like that for so many of us. A never-ending race filled with responsibilities, pressures, unfulfilled goals, and endless expectations from others. Take a moment, pause, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, is this really how I want to live? Is there another way, a simpler way, that still allows me to live a meaningful life? The answer is yes, and it lies in Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of over 2,000 years, yet remains incredibly relevant to modern life. It's a guide to freeing yourself from the unnecessary complexities of life and finding peace within. Let me tell you a story. My story. Not long ago, I was just like you, always feeling the need to do more, achieve more, and live a life that others would deem worthy. I threw myself into work, tried to maintain every relationship, and even forced myself to smile when I had no reason to. Then one day, as I sat in my office after an exhausting day, it hit me. Everything around me felt like it was collapsing. Nothing in my life felt light or peaceful. It was all too much, and I didn't know how to break free from the chaos. Have you ever felt that way? Like you're screaming inside, but no one can hear you? Like you're trying so hard to please everyone, but deep down you know you're losing yourself in the process? Simplifying life to find peace. In that moment, I discovered Stoicism, the philosophy of resilience and inner peace. This ancient wisdom doesn't teach you to give up on the world, but instead shows you how to see it differently, so you can find tranquility amidst the chaos. Stoicism doesn't promise that life will be easier, but it offers a completely different perspective. Simplify to liberate yourself from unnecessary burdens. It teaches you to focus on what truly matters, let go of what's beyond your control, and most importantly, live with an inner strength and freedom that no external force can take away. Now close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, how many things in your life right now feel like obligations but add no real value? How many relationships do you maintain out of duty rather than genuine connection? How many dreams have you abandoned because you felt you weren't good enough or didn't have the time? Be honest with yourself. And as you answer these questions, remember, you're not alone. We've all been there, but here's the good news. You have the power to change. Happiness isn't something you need to chase. It's something that's been within you all along, waiting to be rediscovered. The journey with Stoicism. In this video, we'll take a journey together to uncover the core principles of Stoicism. This isn't some abstract or complicated philosophy. It's a practical way of life that you can apply even amidst the chaos of today's fast-paced world. Here's what we'll explore, focusing on what you can control. Learn how to stop wasting energy on things outside your influence. Simplifying your life. From cutting toxic relationships to clearing mental clutter, find ways to make your life lighter. Mastering your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding them and choosing thoughtful responses. The power of saying no. How to decline politely, yet firmly, to protect your time and energy. Living a life of simplicity and inner fulfillment. Discover the strength that comes from contentment and living free from external pressures. Are you ready to change? I know you might be thinking, this sounds great, but it's easier said than done. And you're right, change is never easy. But remember, every great journey begins with a single step. So, here's my challenge for you. Watch this video until the end and commit to trying at least one Stoic principle in your life today. Start by focusing on what you can control and turn that into a source of strength instead of stress. As we move into the core content, I want you to prepare yourself. Be ready to let go of what no longer serves you. Open your mind to lessons that can transform not just how you live, but how you see the world. Most importantly, believe that peace and strength have always been within you, waiting for you to uncover them. Let's take this journey together. I'll be here every step of the way, helping you learn how to live a life that's no longer complicated, but full of meaning and freedom. Are you ready? Let's begin. Third, core principles of Stoicism. 1. Focusing on what you can control. In a world that constantly demands more from us, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. We try to juggle work, relationships, societal expectations, and even our own insecurities, all at once. But let's be honest, how much of that is truly within our control? This is where Stoicism offers a groundbreaking perspective. Happiness and peace come not from controlling everything, but from focusing only on what is within your power. The illusion of control. Think about the last time you felt frustrated or anxious. Maybe it was a missed deadline, an argument with a loved one, or even something as trivial as bad traffic. In those moments, our natural instinct is to wish we could change the situation. We often think, if only this didn't happen, I'd be fine. But here's the truth. Much of what upsets us is entirely outside our control. No matter how hard we try, we cannot dictate the actions of others, the outcomes of events, or even the weather. By attempting to control the uncontrollable, we waste valuable energy and create unnecessary stress. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, said it best: "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This distinction forms the foundation of Stoicism and holds the key to a life of inner peace. What can you control? The Stoics argue that the only things truly within our control are our thoughts, actions, and reactions. Let's break these down. Thoughts. Your mind is your most powerful tool. While you cannot control the opinions of others, you can control how you interpret those opinions. For example, if someone criticizes you, you have the choice to see it as either a personal attack or a learning opportunity. Actions. Your behavior is entirely in your hands. Regardless of external circumstances, you decide how you show up in the world. Even in the face of adversity, your actions can reflect integrity, kindness, and purpose. Reactions. Life will inevitably throw challenges your way, but your response is your choice. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can either stew in frustration or use the time to listen to a podcast or practice mindfulness. One option drains you, the other empowers you. By focusing on these three areas, you shift your energy from feeling helpless to feeling empowered. Practical steps. To focus on what you can control, here are actionable ways to implement this principle in your daily life. Step 1. Identify what's in your control. The next time you face a stressful situation, pause and ask yourself, what part of this can I control? Make a mental list. For example, if you're preparing for a job interview, you can't control the interviewer's mood, but you can control your preparation, punctuality, and attitude. This simple shift in focus helps you let go of unnecessary anxiety about outcomes you can't influence. Step 2. Let go of the rest. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about accepting reality. When you realize something is beyond your control, like someone's opinion or an unexpected setback, choose to release it. Practice this by saying to yourself, "This is out of my hands, and that's okay." Visualization can also help. Picture the problem as a heavy rock and imagine yourself putting it down. Feel the weight lifting off your shoulders. Step 3. Reframe challenges as opportunities. The Stoics believed that obstacles are often blessings in disguise. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When faced with a problem, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? For instance, a failed project might teach you resilience, new skills, or the importance of collaboration. Step 4. Create daily rituals. Build habits that reinforce your focus on what you can control. Morning reflection. Start your day by setting intentions. Write down what you can control today and what you will let go of. Evening journaling. Reflect on how you handled challenges. Did you stay focused on your sphere of control, or did you waste energy on externalities? By focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest, you'll find a profound sense of freedom. You no longer feel like a victim of life's unpredictability. Instead, you become the master of your own mind and actions. Imagine the peace of knowing that your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances or the behavior of others. Picture yourself facing challenges with calm confidence, knowing that while you can't control the outcome, you can always control your effort and attitude. This principle doesn't mean you stop caring about the world around you. On the contrary, it allows you to show up more fully because you're no longer weighed down by what's beyond your reach. Now that you understand the power of focusing on what you can control, the next logical step is simplifying your life. When you remove unnecessary burdens, be it toxic relationships, overwhelming commitments, or physical clutter, you create space to focus on what truly matters. In the following section, we'll explore how Stoicism can help you declutter your life, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Get ready to breathe easier, think clearer, and live lighter. But before we move on, take a moment to reflect. What is one situation in your life right now that's causing you stress? What part of that situation can you control? Write it down, take a deep breath, and let the rest go. Because when you focus on what's within your power, you unlock a strength that no one can take away. Let's move forward together. 2. Simplifying your life. In today's world, complexity seems to be the default. We juggle endless commitments, chase after bigger goals, and fill our lives with possessions and distractions in the hope that they will bring us fulfillment. But instead of happiness, we often end up with stress, exhaustion, and a lingering sense of emptiness. This is where Stoicism steps in with its second core principle: simplifying your life. At its heart, this principle is about cutting through the noise and focusing only on what truly matters. It's about removing the unnecessary to make space for what brings clarity, purpose, and joy. Why life feels so heavy? Many of us live with a false belief that more equals better. We think that accumulating achievements, possessions, and commitments will lead to happiness. Yet, over time, these things can become burdens. Possessions. The more we own, the more we must manage and maintain. A larger house may seem like a dream, but it comes with higher bills, more cleaning, and added stress. Commitments. Saying yes to every request or opportunity spreads us thin, leaving little time for rest or what we value most. Relationships. Not every connection is meaningful or healthy. Some relationships can drain our energy instead of uplifting us. The Stoics believed that simplicity leads to freedom. By eliminating what is non-essential, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters: our values, our purpose, and our peace of mind. The philosophy of less. The Stoics were masters of living minimally. They understood that the pursuit of more often leads to dissatisfaction, while choosing less creates space for contentment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less." This doesn't mean neglecting responsibilities or avoiding hard work. Instead, it means being intentional about what you take on and removing what doesn't serve your greater purpose. Simplifying your life is not about giving up ambition or withdrawing from the world. It's about refining your focus so that every action, relationship, and possession aligns with your values. Practical ways to simplify your life. Here are actionable steps to help you apply this principle and simplify your life. Declutter your physical space. Our environment has a profound impact on our mental state. A cluttered space often leads to a cluttered mind. Start small. Choose one area of your home, a drawer, a closet, or a desk, and remove everything you don't need or use. Ask yourself, does this item bring me value or joy? If not, let it go. Practice gratitude for what you have and resist the urge to accumulate more. Imagine waking up in a clean, organized space where everything has a purpose. That clarity translates into a lighter mind and a calmer start to your day. Streamline your commitments. Many of us fall into the trap of overcommitting, believing we need to say yes to everything to be liked or successful. But every yes to something unnecessary is a no to something truly important. Identify your top priorities. What are the 3 most important areas of your life? Family, health, career, or personal growth? Use these priorities as a filter. Before agreeing to a new commitment, ask yourself, does this align with my priorities? If not, politely decline. Embrace the power of no. Saying no isn't selfish. It's essential for protecting your time and energy. Let go of toxic relationships. Not all relationships are meant to last. Some connections can become sources of negativity, holding you back from growth. Evaluate your relationships. Do they uplift and support you, or do they drain your energy? Set boundaries. Protect your peace by limiting interactions with those who bring unnecessary drama or negativity. prioritize quality over quantity? A few deep, meaningful relationships are far more valuable than a large network of shallow connections. Create mental space. Simplifying your life isn't just about your surroundings, it's also about decluttering your mind. Practice mindfulness. Spend a few minutes each day in stillness, observing your thoughts without judgment. Limit distractions. Reduce screen time, social media, and unnecessary notifications to reclaim your mental bandwidth. Focus on one task at a time. Multitasking often leads to stress and lower quality results. Align your actions with your values. A simplified life is one where every action serves a purpose. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. Write down your core values. These might include kindness, growth, family, or creativity. Evaluate your daily activities. Are they aligned with your values, or are they distractions? Make intentional choices. Prioritize actions that move you closer to the life you want to live. The freedom of simplicity. When you embrace simplicity, you gain more than you lose. By letting go of unnecessary possessions, commitments, and relationships, you create space for what truly enriches your life. More clarity, you know what matters and can focus your energy there. More peace. Without the noise of excess, your mind feels calmer. More joy. You have time and space to appreciate life's simple pleasures, like a meaningful conversation or a quiet moment with a cup of tea. Imagine waking up each morning feeling light and purposeful, no longer weighed down by clutter, physical, mental, or emotional. Picture yourself moving through the day with a clear mind, knowing your actions reflect your deepest values. This is the freedom Stoicism offers. Now that we've explored the principle of simplifying your life, let's move to the next essential lesson in Stoicism: emotional resilience. Even with a simplified life, challenges and frustrations will arise. The key to maintaining peace lies in mastering your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding and responding to them wisely. In the next section, we'll dive into how Stoicism teaches us to navigate life's storms with calm confidence. But before we get there, take a moment to reflect. What is one area of your life, physical, emotional, or relational, that feels cluttered? What is one step you can take today to simplify it? Start small. The journey to simplicity begins with a single decision to let go. 3. Mastering your emotions. Life is unpredictable. Challenges, setbacks, and frustrations are inevitable. While we may not control what happens, we can control how we respond. This is where Stoicism introduces one of its most transformative principles: mastering your emotions. Mastery of emotions doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring them. Instead, it's about understanding your feelings, allowing yourself to experience them, and choosing thoughtful responses over impulsive reactions. The Stoics believe that by managing our emotions, we protect our inner peace and maintain clarity in the face of life's storms. Why emotional mastery matters. Emotions are natural and universal. Anger, fear, sadness, and joy all serve a purpose. They alert us to situations that require attention. However, when emotions take over, they can cloud our judgment and lead to actions we regret. Imagine a moment of anger when you said something hurtful to someone you care about, or a time when anxiety stopped you from taking an important step forward. These experiences remind us that while emotions are powerful, letting them control us can lead to unnecessary pain. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This wisdom highlights the Stoic belief that emotional mastery is key to living a resilient and peaceful life. Understanding the nature of emotions. The Stoics viewed emotions as the result of our thoughts and perceptions. It's not the event itself that upsets us, but how we interpret it. For example, event: someone cuts you off in traffic. Interpretation: they disrespected me on purpose, leads to anger. Alternative interpretation: they might be rushing to an emergency, leads to calmness. By recognizing that our emotions stem from our thoughts, we can take back control. The next time you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, is my reaction based on facts or my perception of them? Practical steps to master your emotions. Pause before reacting. One of the most effective tools for emotional mastery is creating a pause between the trigger and your response. When you feel anger, frustration, or sadness rising, take a deep breath and count to 5. This momentary pause allows your rational mind to regain control, reducing the likelihood of an impulsive reaction. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." By delaying your reaction, you give yourself the space to choose a thoughtful response. Reframe your perspective. The way we interpret events greatly influences our emotional response. Learning to reframe situations can transform negative emotions into opportunities for growth. Example: instead of seeing a mistake at work as a failure, view it as a chance to learn and improve. Ask yourself, what can I gain from this experience? This practice not only reduces emotional distress, but also fosters resilience. Over time, you'll find yourself less shaken by setbacks and more focused on solutions. Practice emotional detachment. Emotional detachment doesn't mean indifference, it means maintaining a sense of calm and objectivity. Recognize that emotions are temporary. Just as a storm passes, so too will anger, fear, or sadness. Remind yourself, this feeling is not permanent. It will pass. By observing your emotions rather than being consumed by them, you can respond with clarity instead of reactivity. Focus on what you can control. Many of our emotional struggles arise from trying to control things beyond our influence, such as other people's opinions or external circumstances. Shift your focus to what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions. Ask yourself, am I upset because I'm clinging to something outside my control? Letting go of the need to control externalities reduces frustration and brings a sense of peace. Develop emotional resilience through practice. Emotional mastery is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Reflect daily. At the end of each day, consider moments when your emotions got the better of you. What could you have done differently? Visualize challenges. Before entering a stressful situation, mentally prepare yourself by imagining staying calm and composed. The Stoics often practiced negative visualization, imagining worst-case scenarios to desensitize themselves to fear and anxiety. This doesn't mean dwelling on negativity, but training your mind to face challenges with strength. The benefits of emotional mastery. When you master your emotions, you reclaim your inner peace. Clarity. Emotions no longer cloud your judgment, allowing you to make better decisions. Freedom. You stop being a prisoner to impulsive reactions and gain control over your actions. Strength. Challenges become opportunities to grow rather than sources of stress. Imagine walking through life with the calm confidence of someone who isn't easily shaken. Picture yourself responding to difficult situations with grace, maintaining composure even when the world around you feels chaotic. This is the power of emotional mastery. Now that you understand the importance of mastering your emotions, it's time to apply this principle to how you interact with others. Emotional mastery doesn't just benefit you, it transforms your relationships. In the next section, we'll explore the Stoic principle of saying no and setting boundaries. You'll learn how to protect your energy, prioritize what matters, and cultivate relationships that align with your values. But before we move on, take a moment to reflect. Think of a recent situation where your emotions got the better of you. How could you have paused, reframed, or responded differently? By starting small and practicing emotional awareness, you'll begin to notice profound changes in how you handle life's ups and downs. Let's continue this journey together. This section delves into the concept of emotional mastery, providing both philosophical insights and practical steps, while seamlessly leading into the next principle. It encourages the audience to reflect and apply what they've learned in their daily lives. The power of saying no. Life often feels overwhelming, not because we lack the ability to manage our responsibilities, but because we take on far too many. The root cause? our inability to say no. Many of us believe that saying yes to everything is the path to success, connection, or validation. Yet this habit often leads to exhaustion, resentment, and a loss of focus on what truly matters. This is why the Stoics teach us that learning to say no is not just a skill, it's an essential principle for living a life of purpose and peace. Saying no isn't about rejecting others or being selfish, it's about protecting your time, energy, and values. It's about creating space for what truly aligns with your goals and well-being. Why? Saying yes all the time drains us. When you say yes to everything, you inadvertently spread yourself thin. Your time. With every additional task, your time becomes more fragmented, leaving you little room for rest or personal priorities. Your energy. Constantly trying to meet others' demands depletes your mental and emotional reserves. Your focus. Saying yes to distractions keeps you from dedicating attention to meaningful pursuits. Imagine this scenario. A colleague asks you to help with a project that doesn't align with your job responsibilities, but you say yes out of guilt. As a result, you work late, miss quality time with your family, and feel resentful. This isn't just about one project, it's about a pattern that chips away at your peace and priorities. The Stoic perspective on boundaries. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living according to your values, not being swayed by external pressures. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This applies perfectly to the practice of saying no. Often, our fear of disappointing others or our desire to be seen as agreeable leads us to overcommit. But the Stoics remind us that we cannot control others' reactions, only our own choices. When you say no to what doesn't align with your values, you are, in essence, saying yes to yourself and your goals. The benefits of saying no. When you learn to say no, you reclaim your time, energy, and focus. Here's what changes. Greater clarity. By removing unnecessary commitments, you create mental space to think clearly and prioritize effectively. Improved relationships. Setting boundaries fosters mutual respect. When you're honest about your limits, you avoid overextending yourself and feeling resentful toward others. Enhanced productivity. Focusing on fewer, high-impact activities allows you to work more efficiently and effectively. Inner peace. When you align your commitments with your values, you experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace. Imagine waking up each day knowing that every commitment on your calendar reflects what truly matters to you. Picture yourself feeling energized, not drained, because you've chosen quality over quantity. This is the power of saying no. Practical strategies for saying no. If saying no feels difficult, you're not alone. Here are actionable steps to help you embrace this powerful word with confidence. Know your priorities. Clarity about your values and goals is essential for setting boundaries. Ask yourself, what are the most important areas of my life right now? E.g., family, career, health, or personal growth. Use these priorities as a filter. Before committing to something, consider whether it aligns with your top priorities. If it doesn't, it's okay to decline. Reframe no as a positive. Saying no isn't about rejection. It's about protecting your energy for what truly matters. Instead of thinking, I'm letting someone down, remind yourself, I'm creating space for what's important to me. Use polite but firm language. You don't need to over-explain or feel guilty when saying no. Keep your response simple, yet respectful. I appreciate the offer, but I'm unable to take this on right now. Thank you for thinking of me, but I need to focus on other priorities. I'd love to help, but I can't give this the attention it deserves. Practice delayed responses. If you feel pressured to say yes immediately, give yourself time to think. Say, let me check my schedule and get back to you. This allows you to evaluate the request without the influence of guilt or urgency. Start small. If saying no feels intimidating, begin with low-stakes situations. Decline an invitation to an event you're not interested in. Say no to a minor request that doesn't align with your priorities. As you practice, you'll build the confidence to set boundaries in more significant areas of your life. Overcoming the fear of saying no. It's natural to fear disappointing others or being judged for setting boundaries. However, remember this. People who value and respect you will understand your need to say no. You cannot please everyone, and trying to do so only leads to burnout. The Stoics teach us that our worth is not determined by others' opinions, but by how we live in alignment with our principles. Saying no is a reflection of your self-respect and commitment to living authentically. Now that you've explored the power of saying no, it's time to take a broader look at how these principles can shape your overall approach to life. In the next section, we'll delve into the final core principle of Stoicism, living with simplicity and inner contentment. Before moving forward, ask yourself, what is one commitment or relationship that no longer serves you? How can you gracefully say no to create space for what truly matters? Remember, every no to what drains you is a yes to your own well-being. Let's continue building the foundation for a life of clarity, purpose, and peace. 5. Living with simplicity and inner contentment. In our pursuit of happiness, we often fall into the trap of believing that fulfillment lies in having more achievements, more possessions, more recognition. But instead of feeling complete, we end up overwhelmed, constantly chasing the next thing, only to find that it never truly satisfies. The Stoics teach us a timeless truth. Happiness doesn't come from acquiring more, it comes from needing less. By embracing simplicity and cultivating inner contentment, we can break free from the endless cycle of striving and rediscover the peace and joy already within us. The illusion of more. Our modern world is built on the idea that success is tied to accumulation. We're bombarded with messages telling us that happiness is just one more promotion, one more purchase, or one more milestone away. But have you ever noticed how fleeting that sense of happiness is? You finally get the new car, the perfect house, or the dream job, and for a moment it feels amazing. Then, almost inevitably, the novelty wears off, and you're left wondering, what's next? This constant striving leaves us exhausted and disconnected from what truly matters. The Stoics understood this trap long ago. As Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." True wealth, according to the Stoics, isn't found in external possessions, but in the ability to be content with what you already have. Simplicity, the gateway to peace. Living simply doesn't mean giving up ambition or renouncing the modern world. It means stripping away what is unnecessary to focus on what truly brings value and meaning to your life. The Stoics believed that simplicity allows us to connect with our inner selves and align our actions with our core values. By letting go of distractions and excess, we create space for clarity, purpose, and peace. Practical steps to embrace simplicity and contentment. Redefine success. Ask yourself, what does success truly mean to me? Is it the accumulation of wealth and status, or is it living in alignment with your values, cultivating meaningful relationships, and experiencing inner peace? Take time to reflect on what genuinely brings you joy and fulfillment. Let this guide your decisions rather than external definitions of success. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to the constant desire for more. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. Start a daily gratitude practice. Each evening, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They can be as simple as a good meal, a kind word, or a moment of quiet. As you cultivate gratitude, you'll begin to notice the abundance already present in your life. Simplify your possessions. Physical clutter often reflects mental clutter. By reducing the number of things you own, you create space for clarity and freedom. Ask yourself, does this item serve a meaningful purpose or bring me joy? If not, consider letting it go. Embrace quality over quantity. Invest in fewer, higher quality items that align with your values and needs. Simplify your time. Time is our most precious resource, yet we often fill our days with obligations that don't serve us. Review your commitments. Are they aligned with your values and goals? If not, consider reducing or eliminating them. Prioritize activities that nourish your well-being, such as spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply resting. To let go of comparisons. Comparison is one of the biggest barriers to contentment. When we measure ourselves against others, we often feel inadequate or envious. Remind yourself, everyone's journey is unique, and I am exactly where I need to be. Focus on your progress and growth rather than trying to meet external expectations. Find joy in simplicity. Happiness isn't found in grand achievements or possessions, but in life's simple moments. Savor a quiet morning with a cup of tea. Appreciate the beauty of nature on a walk. Connect deeply with someone you care about. By slowing down and being present, you open yourself to the richness of each moment. While simplifying your external life is important, true contentment comes from within. The Stoics believed that cultivating a calm and resilient mind is the key to lasting peace. Accept what is. Life will always have challenges, but you have the power to choose how you respond. Practice acceptance by focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Embrace impermanence. Everything in life is temporary, both the good and the bad. By acknowledging this, you can appreciate the present moment without clinging to it or fearing its loss. Live with purpose. When you align your actions with your values, you create a sense of meaning and fulfillment that external achievements cannot provide. The rewards of simplicity and contentment. When you embrace simplicity and inner contentment, life begins to feel lighter. You feel free. Free from the pressure to accumulate, compete, or prove yourself to others. You feel clear. Clear about what truly matters and how to prioritize your time and energy. You feel joyful. Joyful not because life is perfect, but because you've learned to appreciate its beauty, even in imperfection. Imagine waking up each day without the weight of unnecessary burdens. Picture yourself moving through life with a calm and steady heart, finding peace in the small, meaningful moments. This is the gift of living simply and contentedly. As we conclude our journey through the principles of Stoicism, remember this. A fulfilling life isn't about perfection or abundance. It's about clarity, purpose, and peace. By focusing on what you can control, simplifying your life, mastering your emotions, setting boundaries, and cultivating inner contentment, you create a foundation for lasting happiness. Before moving forward, take a moment to reflect. What is one area of your life that feels overly complicated? What small step can you take today to simplify it? Your journey to a life of simplicity and contentment begins with a single choice: to need less and appreciate more. Let's continue to walk this path together. Let's revisit the core lessons of Stoicism that we've discussed. Focus on what you can control. Your thoughts, actions, and reactions are the only things truly within your power. By directing your energy here, you free yourself from the stress of trying to control the uncontrollable. Simplify your life. Let go of possessions, commitments, and relationships that no longer serve you. By removing the excess, you create space for what truly matters. Master your emotions. Learn to pause, reflect, and respond wisely. Emotional mastery doesn't mean denying your feelings. It means understanding them and choosing thoughtful actions. Learn to say no. Protect your time and energy by setting boundaries. Saying no is not rejection. It's a commitment to living in alignment with your values. Live with less to gain more. True happiness doesn't come from having more. It comes from appreciating what you already have. By embracing simplicity and cultivating inner contentment, you find joy in the present moment. These principles aren't just ideas to think about, they're tools you can use to reshape your life, one step at a time. Change doesn't happen overnight, but every small action adds up. Let's talk about how you can start applying these lessons today. 1. Pick one. Exercise to try right now or reflect on your current challenges and choose one principle to focus on. Feeling overwhelmed? Identify what's within your control and let go of the rest. Struggling with too many commitments? Say no to one thing that doesn't align with your priorities. Seeking clarity? Declutter one small area of your life, such as your desk or calendar. 2. Create a daily practice or incorporate Stoic habits into your routine. Start your morning by setting an intention to focus on what matters. End your day with a gratitude journal to reflect on what brought you peace or joy. 3. Celebrate small wins. Every time you apply a Stoic principle, take a moment to acknowledge your effort. Change takes time, but every small step is a victory. Motivational reminder: you don't need to transform your entire life in one day. All it takes is one small decision, followed by another, and then another. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Start with a single thought, and let it guide your actions. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. The Stoics knew this well. They faced wars, exile, and loss. Yet they found peace and strength in their ability to live with clarity and purpose. And so can you. By embracing Stoicism, you give yourself the gift of perspective. You stop chasing after things that don't matter. You find joy in the little moments that make life meaningful. You realize that true freedom comes not from controlling the world, but from mastering yourself. Imagine waking up tomorrow with a sense of calm and direction. You're no longer weighed down by unnecessary worries or distractions. Instead, you move through the day with purpose, knowing that your actions reflect your values. This is the power of Stoicism, a life lived with simplicity, clarity, and inner peace. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could benefit from these lessons. Let's build a community of people striving for clarity, strength, and joy. Remember, this isn't the end of the journey. It's just the beginning. Each day is an opportunity to practice these principles and move closer to the life you truly want. Thank you for taking this time to explore Stoicism with me. I hope these lessons bring you the peace, strength, and clarity you deserve. Let's continue this journey together.